Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. And first up, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers which have come to the channel. And if this is your very first visit and you're thinking about subscribing, please do. Now we've got that out of the way. We're at it, let's go over and take a quick look at the bike. And I think now you'll see I've clocked roughly 125 kilometres on the bike. Anyway, this little CT125 I've been really 100% satisfied with. I've had it out now on all different terrain, whether it's been the rough area of the Kinross Forest, out on the Seal section. It doesn't matter where I've been going on, it's been really firing like a little trooper. So I think if you guys have got your name down on an order on one of these bikes, you're going to be 100% satisfied with it when the time comes and you get hold of one. So that's the main thing, just hold back, wait for the time comes and you got hold of it, and you'll be right. Now the only other thing I've just mentioned to you, I've got a few trips lined up. One of the trips is going to be to a place called Ophir in New South Wales, a bit of rough country there. That's one of the places where the first payable gold was discovered in 1851. So that'll be one. Next place is going to be Anenga National Park. Now I'm going to take the wife out on that one. Now she went down to the shop yesterday, or a local Spotlight store, purchased this cushion. She reckons she wants that to sit on. So while we're at it, she also said that we'll have to take a bit of food along with us. So I found one of my old photographic boxes and I bolted that to the back part of the rack here, which comes in reasonably neat. I hadn't been using that box now for several years, and just so happens did the job well. Even locks here at the, or it doesn't lock at the back. I've lost the keys, but it'll serve the purpose. So I end up doing a little bit of modifications there to the bottom, put a bit of foam down there and a little bit of egg crate style foam to absorb the impact, because I'm going to use this as a dual purpose. One, to carry a bit of food or anything like that on my travels, and number two, I want to carry my photographic equipment around in that box. And if you're going to do that, you've got to be a little bit careful, because there's a few dollars tied up in that sort of material and you want to look after it. And besides, I find now when I go out and do a bit of photographing that it's a bit of a problem with a shoulder bag, and you really need something you can get into quick, and I think this one will serve the purpose. So while I'm at it, I might even show you what sort of photographic stuff I cart along with me, may be of interest to you, and later on when you get your bikes you may be interested in yourself, or you might just like to stick with your cell phone, but nothing wrong with having a look, and I'll just show you what's available. Now here's an overall pan of what I usually take. Maybe not all at once, but in most cases a fair bit of this stuff goes. I've had great success with this camera. It's a Sony AX53. It shoots in 4K, but I mainly just shoot it in 1080p. It's a nice compact camcorder. A lot of people don't like camcorders, but you know, they think they went out years ago, but the fact is that's a really sharp shooter. Like I said, shoots in 4K, got really good optics, and the best thing about that one, it's got one of the best image stabilizers around on a camera, and you can handhold that particular camera and you can zoom in at least 1 kilometre or 1.5 kilometres away and still get a passable shot out of it, which these are just $150 specials I picked up on eBay. These little adventure cameras, they handle the job quite well. They've also got image stabilizer, but the only thing about these two, they haven't got external mic outputs. So they do pick up a bit of wind noise, not compared to the one I've got at the moment. It's running an external mic, not an expensive one either, just a $10 one, and it works okay. This camera here, I like it. It's a Canon G7X. Best thing about that one, it's all metal virtually, and you can put that one in your pocket. And I've dropped that one a couple of times and it still works, and you can take a bit of a bashing. They're not cheap, those ones. They're up around $800 or maybe a bit better. They brought out a new version of that one now with an external mic, but I'm not sure if they're working as good as this particular one. But apart from that, we swing over to the mounts. This one here comes in handy for hooking up onto tree branches, like thicker ones. It'll take a big one there. These ones here around watercourses, or setting the camera up along the road where you want to ride past, which is good. This is one of my favourite ones. It's called a takeway. The best thing about that one, you can hook it up to a tree branch on a fence post or a gate, and it's got a toggle type head on it. You put your little adventure camera or a bigger camera on it, and you can get any angle you want. So that's really a good one. Pick them up on eBay too. Naturally, that one's just an underwater housing in case you're too close to water and stop it from getting wet. And then naturally on the helmet, you run a helmet cam here, and all this filming at the moment I'm doing with this particular camera, believe it or not, is just on one of these $150 cameras, and it's called a Get Up Get 2 Pro, and you can pick them up on eBay. And I find most of my work I use that particular camera because I've had good results with it. So then we come, last but not least, the drone. So the drone is a DJI Mavic Mini, and this particular one cost me about $600. And I find it a really good drone to use. Pretty simple. Some of them are really hard to use, but this one here is a good little one. Really compact. Naturally the propellers and all that fold in nice and flat, and as far as that goes, and for $600. But if I was recommending anything about one of these, I wouldn't buy it in the cheap pack like this for $600. I'd go and pay the bit extra and buy the Flymore Combo, and with the Flymore Combo you get 3 batteries instead of that, and you get the charger, and you get a few other items with it which make it a really good value pack. When I bought this one, it was just a new release. I couldn't get the Flymore Combo, and it's a pity because you go out, you fire it off, and it lasts about 20 minutes, and then that's it for the day. And if you had the battery pack, you could go out with the other 2 batteries, and you'd go out with 3 batteries, and then you could keep going. And it takes a long time to charge both items if you haven't got the proper battery pack. So I would recommend Flymore Combo if you buy one of those, and go for the value, because if you go later on and want to buy them separate, it'll end up costing you a lot more than what it would have in the first place. And these are readily available now, so there's no rush to try to get hold of them. DJI has just released this gimbal for the iPhone, or the generic brand phones, and it performs really good too with a few trick shots. So that's something you can get into. They're about $250 if you want to buy one of those, and they've got a magnetic base on where you can just put your phone straight onto it, and they're very quick to use. And I've only used that a couple of times so far, so I'll know how that performs a lot better when I get out and give it a better workout. So anyhow, we'll try a couple of these things in the new case I've got over there, see how it looks. So guys, once we look into the box, you can see it just about fits all my photographic equipment. There's enough there to get me going out there to do a good shoot, everything I want. Naturally, if I was heading out there into the paddock, I'd wrap all these individually so that they're sitting in there, not being knocked around as I go. But that just gives you an idea. Got heaps of room. You look down into the depth, and you just wrap them up. And the best thing about it, I can just get into it, come into the back of the bike now, lift her up and grab it. And the best thing I like about this bike from a photography point of view, just sitting on this seat that's 800 mils off the ground, I can just ride up to a guide post, have one of these smaller cameras, like come along here, grab the adventure camera, set her up, ride up to the guide post, set her on the guide post like that and point it down the road, and then just ride down and ride back. And I don't even have to get off the bike if I've got the smaller ones, because sometimes I carry those smaller ones just in my pocket. So that way, and I couldn't do it with the other bikes anyway, because if I get on the bigger bikes, they're the 200 kilo bikes, the balance isn't as good as what's on this bike. This is a really easy bike to balance. It's just like, hate to say it, but it's just like a little toy. And that's what I like about it, because you can get there and ride around, and it's just no trouble whatsoever. You can just say, oh, ride in here, ride in there. So if you look at it that way, you know, you can have a lot of fun there that way, where, you know, you jump from 120 to 200 kilos, and if that bike lets go on you, well, you've got to be really on the ball there and be on guard to grab it, or the party's over for you and you're on the ground and the bike's there with you. So anyway, look, I hope you enjoy this little bit on the photography side. The next time I get out, I might give you a riding impression of this around town. And like I said, you know, if you haven't joined the channel, by all means think about hitting the subscribe button, and I'll throw up a bit more content, and then next time we'll see how things go on that line. And once again, thanks for tuning in, taking a look, and subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch up with you at a later date. Cheers for now.